that who I think it is down there in the lower left-hand corner?
I don't know. Who do you think it is? I can't see it.
Roz?
Yes, it is.
God. Okay.
But we're going to start off with Rafiq.
What's she doing
Rafiq.
down in the slums in our world?
She's got our game.
Oh, so yeah, Bill Lambier, congratulations. Second year in a row, you won't have to go through the first 2 rounds to get to the semifinals. Only difference is you're a second seed. What's a lot this year
Not yet.
compared to last year?
We're not there yet.
But what changed a lot this year compared to last year's finals team? As far as you,
we have a whole new team. We have 3 or 4 different, 6 different players than we had last year. They're a little more mature. They've grown up a little bit. But, you know, we're a different style of play. We have different opportunities offensive-wise to score. The league's also much harder this year, too. A lot of players set out last year for various reasons and injuries. So the league is much harder this year. I think we're positioned appropriately at the moment. We're right there. You know, we'll see how the next 2 games play out. We need 1 more win to secure a double bye. But I think for the most part throughout the season, we've had our ups and downs. We gave away some games. We won a couple of games we probably shouldn't have won. But overall, I think if we can get the number 2 seed, it's about, you know, give or take a game or 2 where we're supposed to be.
Yeah, so for those who might not be aware, the magic number for the Aces to clinch the 2 seed is 1, any combination of 1 Aces victory or 1 Minnesota loss. Mr.
Correct.
Gordon.
Hey, Bill. So in the injury report, Liz is out tomorrow. Just do you have an update on her general status and where she's at in the protocols?
Yes, I can say that we expect Liz to play Sunday. This is a little too soon. She has been cleared from the protocol, but she has to get some conditioning in and make sure she's got past all her. She's tested negative. She's passed her heart test. Now it's just she needs a couple days to put a little bit of conditioning in before she actually starts running on the floor. Where she's going to meet us in Phoenix on Saturday, and we expect her to get some time on Sunday in preparation for, you know, getting her conditioning back.
Yeah, and just to follow on that, with that in mind, how nice is it to have at least 1 game with her back before the playoffs to get some reps with her in the lineup?
Well, that's the big question. What do you do now? She's going to have a lot less conditioning than she had before. We have a lineup now that's been playing together for, I don't know, 6 games or whatever the number is now. Working her back into the system is going to be a little bit of a bumpy ride. Hopefully I can get her some time on Sunday to see what it does to us, both from her conditioning. I mean, I'm expecting her to be able to play like 3 or 4 minutes at a time and have to come out. So, you know, it's going to be an interesting managerial experience for me, but that's what I'm used to, and that's what everybody's expecting me to figure out.
Thank you.
Roz?
Thank you. I wasn't sure how to do the hand raise.
It's called a button on your computer.
Oh my gosh. Not me getting Zoom advice from Bill.
That's a fact.
Okay, Bill, I just want to start with following up on the Liz Cambage conversation. So while she was in protocol, she's done no conditioning, or what has she been able to do? And nothing. What will be the conditioning ramp up? Will she immediately start to practice with players or alone?
Well, right now she's working out with a personal trainer. Yesterday and today and yesterday and tomorrow. So she'll meet us in Phoenix on Saturday. You know, you can't do anything very much in 2 days. I mean, it is what it is. This is going to be a time thing. You know, fortunately, either way we go, we're not going to play till a week from Sunday. So give a fair amount of practice time. I don't, you know, obviously I don't expect her to be in game shape come whenever time we play next. It's just, I don't think that's going to happen. She could stand on her head like a hockey person and make me wrong. Mm-hmm. But I think that, you know, it's going to have to be managed, her time. And the hardest part about NBA basketball or WNBA basketball is, you know, you get tired, but then there's no stoppage of play. So I'm going to maybe have to call a timeout when I normally wouldn't want to call a timeout, just to make sure I get her out of the game before she falls flat in her face. So it's just going to be, you know, we'll work our way through it. We'll in practice, we'll get a better handle on it, but it's still not the game. It's just going to be going to manage it. I don't know, and right, don't know how to do it right now. We're just going to go through it.
Has anything changed about the rhythm and flow of the team during this time that might make it,
Of course.
as far as her role immediately coming back?
Yeah, you already knew that before you asked the question. We're a different team now than we were then. We execute differently. We target different people. Kia Stokes in the lineup is a better on-time screener than Liz is. Liz is more of a give me the ball. I'm a dominant post player, where Kia Stokes is a complementary player for all the rest of the players to do their things. We're probably a little better, faster paced team with Liz being out. But not to say that with Liz in the game, we're not going to be very effective because she's very difficult to stop offensive wise. You can throw her the ball all the time and get some baskets that we may not be able to get with the lineup that we have out there right now. Liz also is a dominant defensive rebounder and a shot blocker, which I give all the credit to Kia Stokes in the world. She's a yeoman, does a hell of a job for us. But it's still not Liz Cambage. So, like I said, it's a managerial situation. How do you integrate Liz back into the lineup without disrupting others who are finding a different niche for themselves? But at the same time, Liz is a very powerful force. So we're going to figure this out. It's just a matter of, I got to put my thinking cap on and work around how to do this and talk to the coaches every day about rotation minutes and who comes in at what times and yeah, but we're a long way from having to worry about that, because I said we're not going to play before next Sunday or next week Tuesday, so it gives us a chance in practice to see how to pull this one out.
I just one last on the same story. What did Kia do? What stood out about how Kia stepped up during this time for you?
Everything. I see Kelsey Plum on the call right there. I told Kelsey Plum when we got Kia Stokes, I went over to her and I says, "You're welcome." She goes, "What do you mean I'm welcome?" Well, says, "I got you Kia Stokes," because she'll execute, and Plum's a very big execution person, and she'll set screens and get people open. She doesn't care about herself. She's an outstanding teammate, which is what we really needed. But she's not Liz Cambage. Kia Stokes gets the ball 2 feet in the basket. She's not going to shoot it, even though we yell at her and scream at her to do that. But you already know that, Roz. But yeah, it was a great pickup for us. There's no question about it. But at the same time, this is Liz Cambage, and she's going to have to be integrated back into the system.
Thank you.
Last 2 questions for you, Bill. First, just looking to Chicago. We've split with them this year. What's been the difference in the 2 games, the win and the loss, and how do you see tomorrow going?
I'll go the backside first. I hope we win. But I think that, cutting down their transition is a big part of their game. They're gonna, they want to get up and down and steal baskets in transition to get easy layups. That's what we have to take away. Last game in Chicago, they got too many of those. Obviously, Quigley, okay, fine, and Candace Parker, okay, fine, but no auxiliary personnel getting off. Trying to control them as much as possible. But I think transition and us taking care of the basketball are going to be 2 big things. But obviously, you play Chicago historically, rebounding is a big key also. We can't let them get us offensive rebounds and get second shots and get 3 points. So we got to take care of the glass.
And then last question, looking to the award winners for this year again. Aces with the top ranked offense in the league, doing something nobody has ever done in the league with 7 double-figure scores.
We don't have that yet.
Well, at the moment, we've got 7. No one's ever finished a season with more than 5. What's been the key to the offense this year? And then who outside of maybe Asia Wilson, who's obvious, would you highlight for some of the all-WNBA honors potentially?
Sacrifice. The players sacrificing this year had to be a given. Each individual player, is in their own right, their own corporation, their own person, their own, whoever they are, and they all have to sacrifice. Asia Wilson on down, Liz Cambage. Liz Cambage is a 22-point scorer. She's scoring 14 points. I talked about Kelsey Plum the other day, coming off the bench where she could be a starter in a lot of ways. So sacrifice is what made this happen. I don't think it will ever happen again in a 40-minute game with the salary cap being fully implemented. That's coming up right now, where you're going to have this many players in double digits. It's 2 years in a row that our bench has been a tremendous story. Last year, we scored the most points in the history of the bench play. This year, we have, I had to cut the bench down to, a couple players, three players. But they performed admirably and have done a tremendous job for us and changed complexion of the game. So I think with 7 players, it's a great thing to hang your hat on for. We accomplished something, or not accomplished. This is what we did. This is how we play. This is how we are successful. But we still haven't won a goddamn thing. If we win the championship by this way and everybody gets all their accolades and so forth like that, well, then that's what we're trying to accomplish.
Thank you, Bill. We'll let you go and see you
Thank
tomorrow,
you.
5 o'clock Pacific time on my LV TV. Now we will hit the stop record button.